Moody's again cropping up in this bulletin. This time it's downgrading Anglo American's debt to junk status as concerns do continue to grow over the global miner's ability to reduce its debt levels in the face of weak commodity prices. Now, the company plans to sell its iron ore unit in a bid to cope with the commodities rout that has triggered a fight for survival even among mining heavyweights. Prices of crude oil and metals like copper and platinum have hit multi-year lows this year, and that has forced Anglo American and her peers to sell assets, cut or suspend dividends and slash capital expenditure in order to preserve what cash they have and reduce debt. Anglo reported a 55% drop in earnings before tax and interest earlier on Tuesday. It does own about 70% of Kumba iron ore. That's Africa's biggest miner of that steel-making ingredient.
So I think we're in an era of low commodity prices. Miners have already spent a lot of capex there and are now mothballing projects fairly quickly in order to reserve cash should they need it further down the line, because capital raising is going to become incredibly expensive.
Now, the commodities sector, of course, in South Africa does employ quite a few people. Sumitra Naidu joins us now once again from Johannesburg. Sumitra, looking at the current environment right now, who would actually take these assets from AngloGold, especially in iron and coal?
Well, it is a rather tough environment, and that's essentially why Anglo American is looking to sell these mines off. It wants to streamline the company and reduce debt, and it's chosen to drop the bulkier commodities. There is an oversupply in the market, and it will take a few years before prices recover. In a case like this, you're either going to find investors that have cash on the balance sheet, and they got a bit of time, so as it will take a few years to see profits, or it's going to be those that are more dependent on these commodities. Coal, for example, is a strategic resource for the South African government. Eskom uses coal for power generation. In fact, 80% of all power generated in this country is generated from coal. It is crucial for Eskom to have a regular supply of coal. So South Africa could look at adding these mines to its portfolio of state assets, and there could be interest from companies keen to sign up supply contracts with Eskom.
Indeed, we'll have to leave it there for the time being. Thank you for your inputs. That's Sumitra Naidu live in Johannesburg. Worth pointing out, Anglo American got absolutely hammered in the markets today, down by at least 5% in South Africa, and of course its London listed shares even lower by 8%.